Hello everyone, welcome to ACE Online. In this video, we will see the Indian State of Forest Report 2023. So recently, a few days back, just I think 4 to 5 days back, we got released the Indian State of Forest Report by the Ministry of Environment, right? So this report is usually released biennially, that means once in 2 years. So there is a high chance the question will be coming from any of the exams in the next 2 years. Whatever the exams you write, either you write the state PCS or you write the railways or SSC CGL or any other SSC exam, UPSC exam as well, ESC, right? Or civil service also, there will be high chance that the questions will be there, 1 or 2 questions from this report. So we will see in a very detailed manner, like everything we will be covering here. So you no need to worry about any other sources also, right? So you no need to read any other PDF as well. So what I suggest here is that you understand the definitions and also try to remember the data. Try to make a short notes out of this, like in the 2 to 3 pages or at max not crossing to 2.5 page, so that this will be useful for the next 2 years. So the next report will be coming in the 2026, that too in the December. So next 2 years it will be very useful. So let's start with the report. First about the introduction. So before going into the discussion, so here in this video we will see a lot of different small chapters, starting with the introduction and then forest cover, bamboo cover, mangroves, carbon stocks. So we will see all these things in a very detailed manner. So have patience, but because this is a very important one for your exams. Let's start with the introduction, that is about the report itself. As I said earlier, this is released for every 2 years. That means once in 2 years, biennial survey. And the first report was released in 1987. The first report, and this is the 18th report. This is the 18th report, and it is released by Union Ministry of Environment, right? So it collaborates with other organizations, and the report is released by the Union Minister of Environment. So this is the 18th edition, as I said till now, and this report covers everything related to the forest and any green cover, right? So this is the brief introduction about the report. Now here the report has given about the land use pattern, right? We have a different, throughout India, if you see the India as a whole, so we have around 3.28 million square kilometer, right? So million square kilometer area we have, fine. So this is the total geographical area, that is 3.28 million square kilometers. So you can convert this into 1000. So here they have given into 1000 hectares. That means in terms of 1000 hectares, they have given the data, right? So this is the total geographical area, and out of that, the total reporting area for land utilization. It means we are not using all the land that is available in India. So some part of land is not being used for any purposes. It is not used for agriculture, not used for any urbanization, not used for any forest. So it was ideal, right? So there is no utility of that particular land. So this is the land utilization. That means out of the total land area we have, we are using the 93.23% of land for any of the purposes. It is not just about forest, it can be used for any purposes. So around 6.77% of land we are not using. Let's say in the Ladakh region, so it is a very unreachable area, or even POK, Pakistan occupied Kashmir is there. It is also our land, but we are not utilizing it formally, right? So this is the total utility percent of our land, right, out of the total land. Next we have forests. The forest cover is 21.9%, very important. The total forest that is available for us as of 2023 report is 21.9%, a very important factor. Then not available for land cultivation. That means out of the total land, that is 93.23%, this is the number. Out of that, there is some part of land which cannot be used for the agriculture, and this is also not covered with the forest. So those land which is not available for cultivation is around this number. No need to worry about number, but anyway, percentage is very important. 13.41% is just a normal land. We cannot able to use it for agriculture. So there may be big stones which are settled in that particular land, which is not suitable for agriculture. Then we have permanent pastures and other grazing land. So what are these lands? That means whatever the land being used specifically for grazing of animals. So those are called as a permanent pastures. That means there is a already a settled grass and this is used for the grazing purposes. And this amounts to 10,000 to 81,000 hectares. All these things you have to multiply the 1,000, right? They have given in 1,000 hectares. So this percentage is 3.13%. This is also important. Then we have land under miscellaneous tree crops and groves. That means in this land we are not using for agriculture. The forests are not covered. I mean, there is no forest in this land, and it is also, it is actually suitable for cultivation, but it is not under the this category, not available for land cultivation. It is available for land, agriculture purpose, but we are not using it. So it is filled with the miscellaneous trees and crops. You might have seen when you are traveling in train or any bus, there is a lot of land covered with the trees, like it is a government lands, right? It is under the government itself. So this type of lands is those land under miscellaneous crops. So this is just a 0.92%. And finally, we have the different agriculture classification land. Whatever, this is the total land which is under agriculture, or it may be used for the agriculture. It can be used, and also it can be part of agriculture, current agriculture. So here we have a definition. Understand this. Net sown area is the one which is currently using for used for agriculture. So in this current year we are using this for the agriculture purpose. Net sown area, that means how much area you have used for agriculture. This is the net sown area. Now current fallow means this is also suitable for agriculture, but this particular lands were not used for the cultivation more than 1 year, right? So in the within 1 year, not more than 1 year, within 1 year. Current means what? In this year. So let's say we have 100 hectares of land. Out of that 90% of land we have put in a net sown area, we have used for agriculture, and rest of the 10% last year we have used, but not in this year. This 10 hectares we did not use in this 1 year. So if less than 1 year, if it is not used for agriculture, then it is categorized under the current fallow. Then we have fallow land other than current fallow. That means this is also suitable for agriculture, but we did not use it for agriculture for more than 1 year, but less than 5 years. So starting from in the last 1 year, whatever we did not use, but this current fallow lands we have used previously. In this year we did not use, but previously, let's say we are in 2024. Okay, so in 2024 we did not use this current fallow land for the agriculture, but in 2023 we have used. So it should be less than 1 year, right? Until we have used this land. Now the fallow land other than current fallow is more than 1 year. That means we did not used in 2023 also, but 2022 we have used, or more than that. So less than 5 years. That means at least 2000 until 2019, between 2023 to 29, we must have used at least once. So in the last more than 1 year, but less than 5 years, in between this span, at least we should have used once. And then culturable wasteland, that is more than 5 years we did not use for the agriculture. This is the culturable wasteland. That means we did not use at all for agriculture. So out of these 4 things, obviously net sown area is more, right? First this one, these 4 are the ones which are suitable for the agriculture, right? So this is the highest net sown area, and then followed by we have culturable, current fallow lands. That means in the last 1 year we did not use, but before that we have used. Then we have culturable wasteland. So culturable wasteland means that land was not used for agriculture more than 5 years, that is 3.63. Then 1 to 5 years, in between these years we did not use the agriculture purposes, this particular land. So that comes under the 3.32%. So you need to understand the percentage, sequential manner. So whatever highest, whatever lowest, they may be asking for the exam. So this is the land use pattern of Indian land, right? I mean land use pattern of India. Now let's know the definitions. We have seen the different land utility purposes. Now we have some definitions, very important ones. Forest cover. What is forest cover? How can a land or any region can be classified as a forest in India? That is, any land should be at least more than 1 hectare. The land area should be at least equal to or more than 1 hectare. That is one criteria. And in this land, at least 10% of the land should be occupied with canopy. That means if you see, if you take this as a 1 hectare, out of that at least 0.1 hectare should be occupied. Out of all this 1 hectare, at least, not at a single place, but even like this also, at least 0.1, that means 10% of that particular taken land should have the tree canopy. Canopy means what? So canopy means this one. This is the canopy. So when you are calculating, there may be houses here, there may be houses, but if there is a canopy of at least 10% out of this 1 hectare, then it can be categorized as a forest, right? This is the definition. It can include orchards, bamboo, palm, anything, but at least 10% they should cover with the canopy, right? And all these things, whatever the canopy calculation is used using the satellite imaginary, right? Next we have the recorded forest area. We have seen what is forest area now. That is measured using the satellite imaginary, and that criteria is more than at least equal to or more than 1 hectare, and it should occupy at least 10% of with the green cover, that is canopy. Now what is recorded forest area? Recorded forest area is the area of land that is mentioned as a forest in the government records, irrespective whether it is currently in forest or not, does not matter. Whether it is more than 1 hectare, less than 1 hectare, does not matter. But in government records, it is mentioned as a forest. So recorded here means in government record, it is recorded as a forest. What happens usually? The government has recorded this as a forest some 40 years before, but now it may be illegally using as a urbanization purpose, settlement purpose and all. So but still it can be vacated anytime, as it is categorized as a recorded forest under the government, right? So this is the definition of recorded forest, and under this there are two important categories, that is reserve forests. Reserve forest means those forests which are strictly regulated. Not even local people are allowed for the grazing or any purposes. It is strictly regulated under the Chief Wildlife Warden. So there will be officials. So if someone want to enter, they have to take the permission. Whereas protected forests are less regulated. For locals it is allowed for small grazing purposes, gathering of any bamboo kind of thing, it is allowed. For outsiders it is regulated, but for local peoples it is very less strictly regulated compared to the reserve forest. And then we have unclassed forests or the village forest. So if the recorded forest, if any forest is recorded under the government, but it is not kept under reserved or protected forest, then it is classified as a village forest or unclassed forests, right? So this is one important thing. And as I said, irrespective if their land is less than 10% or 1 hectare, does not matter. Anything recorded as a forest in the government records will be under the recorded forest area, right? So may have less than 10% canopy, but still it is under the government record. So this is the definition. We have seen forest cover, that is the actual 1 hectare, more than or equal to 1 hectare, and then at least 10% canopy. We have seen recorded forest, which is recorded as in the government record, and then tree cover. Tree cover is those regions where they are less than 1 hectare. They are less than 1 hectare. If it is more than 1 hectare, then it can come under the forest. But this is less than 1 hectare and there is a trees, like 1 or 2, there are trees, right? Canopy. But this canopy is not more than 10%, right? So either of the condition, if they are not satisfying, if the land is less than 1 hectare, but canopy is 50%. Let's take example. This land is 0.5 hectare, But out of this, 50% is occupied by canopy, that is 0.25 hectare is occupied with the green canopy, but still it is a tree cover because it is not satisfying the condition of more than 1 hectare, right? So that's why tree cover means whichever is not recorded as a forest. That means the land should be less than 1 hectare and cannot be irrespective of the thing, anything can be tree covered, right? So basically it is the tree covered areas are those which are having the trees, the green cover outside the recorded forest, not recorded in the government at all. So those are considered as a tree cover, right? Any large patches more than 1 hectare, let's say if there is a land, this is a land, this is not notified under the RFA, it is not notified under the government record, but this is more than 1 hectare and the green canopy is more than 10%, then it can become under the forest definition, forest cover. So that is not under the tree cover, right? So you need to know these differences of forest area, recorded forest area and then tree cover. So all these definitions you have to understand. This is the state wise data. So let's summarize this. We have summarized this all, like which states are having the highest forest area. So you can go through it anyway, you can make note. If you are, say for example, you are from Punjab, so know this total recorded forest area and then within RFA, this is the total area, within this is the total recorded forest. We have reserve forest, we have protected forest, we have unclassified forest, but I am summarizing here what are the top 3 and all. But if you are preparing from any of the state PCS, you just make a note of this as well, right? Now summarizing it, the top 4 states showing the maximum increase of forest and tree cover, both, let's say forest cover is A, tree cover is B. So together A plus B, the maximum increase was shown by Chhattisgarh, followed by Uttar Pradesh, then Odisha and then Rajasthan. So compared to the last report, 2021 report, these 4 are the states which has increased their tree cover and forest cover together. So top ranks are Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan. Now top 3 states showing maximum increase specifically in forest cover. So excluding tree cover, this is both forest and tree cover, this is specifically to forest cover, that is Mizoram, then Gujarat and then Odisha. So Odisha is both in the forest plus tree cover plus only forest cover, it is at the 3rd rank, right? So you need to remember the top ones. Now area wise top 3 states. So area wise, it is the total forest area in that particular states. We are having the highest in Madhya Pradesh, 82,724 square kilometers, then followed by Arunachal Pradesh and then Maharashtra. So these are the top 3 states with the maximum forest cover in terms of the area, right? Now area wise top 3 states having largest forest cover. Area wise top 3 states having largest forest cover, right? This is the forest cover plus tree cover. Observe this. These 3 states, Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh and Maharashtra, together forest and tree cover. But specifically if you take the only forest cover in terms of area, then again Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, same for 1 and 2, but Chhattisgarh comes into the picture here, right? So this is the top 3. In terms of percentage of forest cover, this is the total area in terms of square kilometers. This is in terms of percentage with respect to the total area, how much forest area is covered. That is Lakshadweep, because Lakshadweep is made up of completely corals and it is categorized as a forest itself. So Lakshadweep has the highest, then we have Mizoram and then Andaman Nicobar Island. So these are the 3 which is having the highest percentage of forest area as compared to the total area, right? So that is the thing. Now we also have the forest area by region and sub-region as of 2020, right? So here in terms of total 1000 hectares, you can see here the total African forests are 6,36,639,000 square, 1000 hectares. Asia we have 6,22,000. This number is important as we are from Asia, 6,22,687. And then total Europe 10,17,461. So out of all the continent, Europe is the first. Then we have North America and Central America together 7,52,000. Here see, South America, because we have an Amazon forest there. So this is the second place, and this is the third place, and this is the fourth, and Asia is at fifth. We are at the fifth position. That means Asia is not having the highest forest area. It is the Europe which is having. So this is a very important point. And then followed by South America, and then North America, Central America, then Africa, then comes the Asia. So the total forest area around the world is 40,58,931,000 hectares, right? And in terms of forest percentage also, you can see here, highest, as I said, Europe has 25% of total world forests, then followed by South America, and then North America and Central America, then we have Africa, and then Asia. So this is also important one. Next, top 10 countries of the forest area. Here we have seen the continents, the regions. Now top 10 countries. So first three you have to remember: Russia, Brazil, Canada has the highest forest area. Russia, Brazil, Canada. Then you have to remember the India rank also. India is at the 10th place in terms of the total forest area, right? So this is also important. Next, top 10 countries of average annual net gain. That means compared to the previous year, how much the countries has added their forest. In that, India is at the third, right, after China and Russia. So we have added basically 266,000 hectares compared to the previous year. So India is at the third rank in terms of the improvement after China, Australia and India, right? So this is the first chapter about introduction. We have seen all these data you have to remember. Now let's also see about the forest cover, and this is the overall spread of forest cover. So here Western Ghats we have, Himalayas we have, this is all northeast forest, and then we have a central India also. So these are the major forest cover regions. Now again we have a definition in terms of the forest cover. These forest areas can be classified into various categories based on the canopy cover, right? Density. Very dense forest. What did we say about forest? It should have more than at least 10% of the canopy. Fine. But if any given land is having canopy more than 70%, let's say if we take in 1 hectare, out of this 1 hectare, 0.7 hectare is covered with the forest. So all more area, more than 70%, if it is covered with the tree cover or forest, then it is classified as very dense forest. If the canopy is between 40 to 70, that means it is less than 70 but more than or equal to 40, then it is classified as moderately dense forest. If the canopy cover, the thickness in terms of the given area, if it is less lies between 10 to 40, that means it is less than 40 but more than 10%, then it is categorized as open forests, right? And if it is density less than 10%, obviously it is not a forest. We are not categorizing those as a forest. So it is called as a scrub. Still there is a green cover less than 10%. Let's say we have taken 1 hectare. So less than 0.1 hectare, we have some green cover. Then it is categorized as a scrub. And finally, non-forest, which is not comes under any of the green cover, right? These are the classification. Now, let's see the numbers now. Very important. We have discussed what is forest area, what is tree cover plus forest. We have already discussed. So you have to have a clear understanding of those definitions before knowing these details. So the total forest cover of India in terms of square kilometers, right? In terms of square kilometers, the total forest area of India, that is 7,15,342.61. This is the total area of forest in India. Tree cover 1,12,014.34. So this is the tree cover outside of the forest. If we add together, we will get this number: forest cover plus tree cover 8,27,356.95. So this is the total tree cover plus forest cover. And what is scrub? Less than 10% canopy with the green cover, that is 43,622.64, right? And non-forest, so this is the total non-forest, that means this is not used for any of the forest criteria. So that is 24,16,489.29 square kilometers. So the total is, this is the one, total area of India, obviously 3.28 million square kilometers. So you have to remember this, numbers. And the percentage of forest cover is 21.76. This is the total forest cover of India as of 2023. And this is the green cover, 3.41%. In the exam, they may ask you forest cover or specifically the tree cover, or together they may ask you. That is, tree cover plus forest cover is 25.17. And specifically scrub is 1.33% and non-forest area is 73.50. So they may ask you any of these numbers, right? So this is the one we have already seen, the states with the highest. As I said, Madhya Pradesh, all those things we have already discussed here in the introduction part itself. So all the top 3 states, right? So I'm skipping this diagram or chart. Fine. Next, some more important observations we have. The total increase of forest compared to the 2021, we have a report for every 2 years, right? So this increase in forest cover compared to the 2021 is 156.41. Only forest cover. I'm not talking about the tree cover. Only forest cover that we have increased is 156.41 square kilometers. Whereas increase in total forest plus tree cover, both forest as well as tree cover together, right? That is what we have increased is 1445.81, which means what? So this is the forest cover, this is the tree plus forest. If you remove this from this one, then you will get the total increase in tree cover. So it means that we have increased our tree cover much more than forest cover. See, forest cover, how much we have increased? 156.41 square kilometer. But what is the total forest plus tree cover that we have increased? So if we remove this, approximately 1300 square kilometers tree cover we have increased. Tree cover, not forest cover as such. So it means we are increasing the tree cover beyond the forest, which is a positive sign, right? Then we have forest cover outside, recorded forest area. GW means green wash, nothing but the recorded forest area. This term green wash is also called as recorded forest area. So in terms of government records, Gujarat has increased the highest, and then Bihar and then Kerala. So these 3 states has increased their recorded forest area compared to 2021. Whereas in terms of decrease, Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan has seen the reduced forest in their government records. So this is a very important one to be remembered. Now tree cover trends, maximum tree cover is located in which states specifically? Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. So maximum tree cover is located in these 3 states, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. Fine. If you are specifically from any of these states, you have to remember this numericals also. But if you are not, you are preparing for India level, then you just need to remember top 3. Then we have significant increases. So highest increase of tree cover specifically, Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh. So we are discussing about the tree cover only, not the forest cover. So this is the maximum tree cover located. This is a significant increase. Top states which have increased their tree cover. Then maximum increase in forest plus tree cover. In terms of forest plus tree cover, we have seen already this in the beginning. Chhattisgarh, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha, Rajasthan. We have discussed in the beginning. But we did not see the maximum decrease. This is a specific one. Here maximum decrease of forest and tree cover is Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Ladakh, Nagaland. These 4 states has reduced their forest plus tree cover compared to 2021. These 4 which has increased, we have seen in the beginning itself. And then overall loss of forest in the last decade, this may be asked in the exam, right? Overall in the last 10 years compared to 2013, with respect to present 2023, we have lost the forest. We did not gain, we have lost the forest, 58.22 square kilometers. Then change in forest types compared to 2021. We have a different types of forest, very dense, moderately dense, right? Open forest. We have seen the criterias. Here we have seen. I'm showing you again. So open forest, what is the percentage? All these things we have already seen. So this particular thing also they have given separately. Very dense forest, we have increased by 3,465 square kilometers, which is a good sign. We have increased our thick, very important forest, positive sign. Moderately dense forest, that is 40 to 70% canopy occupied. See, we have seen the definition. This has decreased 1043 square kilometers. there is a decrease, there is an increase, and open forest also we have decreased, 2480 we have decreased. So this too has decreased, but very dense forest has increased. So this is a positive, these both are negative signs. Next, in terms of cities also they have given the cities, the total forest cover of major cities. So if you see, this is until this one, it is a 2021. So no need to worry for us. We will see the 2023 data. In terms of very dense forest, very dense means what? More than 70% of the land is occupied with the green canopy. So only one city is having the very dense forest, that is Delhi. So Delhi is the only city with the very dense forest. In exam they will ask you, very very important. Remaining all cities, they don't have any very dense forest. They may be having moderate, they may be having open forest, but they don't have the very dense forest. So Delhi is the only city. Next, moderately dense forest, you can see this column. In the cities, you have to remember the top one, that is again Delhi. Delhi is having the highest moderately dense forest, and followed by we have Mumbai. Mumbai is the second city with the highest moderately dense forest. At least top two you can remember. Then we have open forest. Open forest also higher in the Delhi. Delhi is top in both, all the three, very dense forest, moderate dense forest, open forest as well. And then we have Bengaluru at the second, right? Bengaluru is the second with the open forest. And in terms of total forest, if we add all these things, very dense, moderate dense, open forest, then the highest one is again Delhi, then followed by Mumbai. So these two are the top cities in terms of the total forest cover. In terms of percentage of total forest, with respect to the total area, Delhi has the total area. Out of that, how much forest has been occupied? In this, the top one is, here we have Mumbai. First Mumbai, and then second is Hyderabad. So Hyderabad is having the second, first is Mumbai with respect to the area percentage, right? In terms of scrub forest, we have highest in the Hyderabad. Hyderabad has the highest scrub forest, and then followed by Bengaluru. Fine. And in terms of increase compared to 2021, how much they have increased? In terms of increase, the highest increment was seen in Ahmedabad, right? And the least, that is decrease amount is seen in Chennai, right? So highest decrease was seen by the Chennai city and highest increase was seen by the Ahmedabad city, right? So this is the important details. Make a note of it, make a short note of it, and accordingly you have to remember the things. Fine. Now coming to the third topic, that is the mangrove forest. Mangrove forest, you all know, that is the salt tolerant plantation, and this mangroves, let's see where they are highest. You no need to worry about all the years. You just need to know about 2020. This is the present status, and this is the decadal change. In 10 years, how much they have changed. So only these two columns are important for us. So now let's see which regions are having the highest mangrove forest. The total mangrove forest of the world in terms of 1000 hectares, areas are important, units are important. So the total for mangrove forest in the world is 14,717,000 hectares. Out of that, highest is in Asia. You can see here, this is the Asia. In Asia, there are more mangrove forest. Then we have followed by Africa. Africa is the second most mangrove forest. And then we have North America and Central America. At least top three you can remember. Total you have to remember, top is Asia, followed by Africa, and then North America and Central America, right? And then annual change compared to 2010, this is actually a decadal change, right? So this change was highest increased in South America. So South America has seen the highest increase in terms of mangrove, and highest decrease was seen in Asia. So this is a very concerning thing. You know that in the Australia region, North Australia, we have a very popular mangrove forest, right? So this Asia has decreased, not the coral reef I am talking about, Sundarbans. Actually, it's not the Australia as such. Sundarbans, right? Very popular one in the Bay of Bengal region. So we have decreased. Asia has seen the most decline in the mangrove, and highest increase in mangrove is seen by the South America. right? South American continent. This also you have to remember. Now coming to the specific details of within India, that also we will see. Total mangrove cover of India is 4,991.68 square kilometers, which amounts to 0.15% of the total land area of India, right? So these two both are important. And distribution, if you see, very dense mangrove forest, that means more than 70% of a given area is occupied with the mangroves. The total very dense mangrove forest cover is 1463.97. Out of this total, we have very dense, and then moderately dense mangroves 1500.84, and then open mangroves we have 2026. So if you add all these three things, it amounts to this only. So out of the total category, we have highest open mangroves, then moderately dense mangroves, then very dense mangroves. So these three are the, you have to remember, highest open mangroves, then moderately dense, then very dense. Net decrease since 2021. So compared to 2021, we actually reduced our mangrove cover. How much? 7.43 square kilometers. We have decreased our mangrove forest area. Largest decrease was seen in Gujarat. Notable increase was seen in Andhra Pradesh, followed by Maharashtra. So in Gujarat, we have lost a lot of mangroves, right? Whereas in Andhra and Maharashtra, we have seen the highest increment. And mangrove cover assessment in the states, and that too you have to remember only the 2021. We have the 2021 data only that is given. In this, the highest mangrove obviously in the Sundarbans, that is the West Bengal. You know this. Sorry, West Bengal is somewhere. Yeah, here it is. West Bengal, 2117.75 square kilometers mangrove is there. Highest is in West Bengal, then followed by Gujarat. Then we have Andaman Nicobar, and then AP, Andhra Pradesh. So total top four you can remember: West Bengal, Gujarat, Andaman Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh. That is the top four states with the mangrove cover, right? The same one is represented in the pie chart as well. West Bengal, then Gujarat, Andaman Nicobar, Andhra Pradesh. That is about the mangrove. Now we have the forest fire also. We have been given with the forest fire data also. So that also we will see here. You can see here this red one is the one area which has experienced the forest fires. So the total, out of the total forest area that we have 21.76 forest cover, right? Out of that, how much forest area is prone to the forest fires? That is 36%, right? And out of that, 2.81 is very extremely fire prone, and 7.85 is very highly fire prone. So extremely one is 2.81, very highly is 7.85%, and other categories are there, no need to worry. Fine. Now the hotspots, how many hotspots were recognized as a fire, prone to the fire one? So total in 2021 we were having 2,23,333, but now in 2023-24 we have 2,03,544. So basically, fire hotspots has decreased in the last 2 years. And top 3 states with the highest forest fires are Uttarakhand, Odisha, Chhattisgarh. The same table I have mentioned here in terms of the top 3. So Uttarakhand, Odisha and Chhattisgarh were having the highest forest fires. Okay. Now forest fire districts also is there, highest prone forest fire districts. You have to remember at least top 3. That is Gadchiroli, you all know. Gadchiroli is a district in the Maharashtra which is also affected by Naxalism. And then ASR district, Allur Sitaramraju district in Andhra Pradesh, and Bijapur in Chhattisgarh. So these are the 3 states. So here there may be issue. Gadchiroli, Allur Sitaramraju, Bijapur. So these 3 are the ones which are having the highest forest fire prone districts, right? So you have to remember these things. Then we are having the growing stocks of wood. See, growing stocks of wood means the total volume. Usually wood is calculated in terms of the weight, in terms of ton, but it is also measured in terms of volume. That is the total area multiplied by their height. So there is a proper instruments to calculate. So that is called as the stock. Now the total growing stock in terms of volume in India is 6,429 million meter cube, not meter cube, million meter cube. This is the total volume of the trees that we have. And inside forest we have Out of this 6,429, inside forest we have 4,478 and outside forest we have 1,950. If you add both these things, you will get this same number, right? So this is the thing. And total increase compared to the 2021 report, the volume has increased by 262.32 million meter cube, which is a good sign, right? And increase in inside the forest is 90.92 out of this, and outside of forest we have some more tree cover. We have seen the tree cover has increased more than 1300, whereas forest cover we have increased just 156, right? So that's why the increase of volume in the outside forest is much higher than inside one. And then growing stock density. Growing stock density means the total volume per hectare. So this is 86.1 meter cube per hectare. Per hectare, how much volume is there? So this is also very important figure. Then we have a state wise, the same growing stock. We have seen the total growing stock increase outside, inside, and these things we have seen. Now state wise growing stocks. Inside forest, which states has increased more? Which has the highest? I am repeating again. The growing stock means the total volume of the wood. Inside forest, Arunachal Pradesh has the highest, followed by Uttarakhand, then Chhattisgarh, then Madhya Pradesh. Whereas outside forest, that means trees, tree cover, volume, that is Maharashtra has highest, followed by Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So these three things also you have to remember. Next, growing stock per hectare, that is density in the forest. Highest is Himachal Pradesh, followed by Kerala and Uttarakhand, right? And then Union Territory highest Jammu Kashmir, followed by Andaman Nicobar and then Chandigarh. So these are the top three ones. Fine. Now growing stock, as I said, volume. Top 10 species, you don't need to remember all the species, at least top 2 you can remember. These are top 10 within reserve forest, that means within forest, and these species are tree cover, that means outside forest. So which are the most popular species inside the forest, outside the forest, you have to remember. Shorea robusta, that is salt trees, and then Tectona grandis, that is teak. So these are the most two popular, highest occupied trees inside the forest. And Magnifera indica, that is mango trees, and then Azadirachta indica, that is neem. So these are the highest occupied trees outside the forest, that is tree cover. So these top two you have to remember. Then finally we have bamboo and carbon stock. So let's see, these are the bamboo areas. So I am summarizing here for you in terms of points. The total bamboo cover in India is, in terms of square kilometer, 1,54,670. This is the total bamboo area. And increase since 2021 is 5,227 square kilometers. So we have increased our bamboo area compared to 2021. How much? 5,227 square kilometers. And which states has the highest maximum bamboo cover? Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh, Maharashtra. So these three states has the highest bamboo cover, and highest increase of the total bamboo cover was seen by Arunachal Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. These two states have seen the highest bamboo increase, whereas the decrease was seen by Karnataka and Manipur, top two states with the decrease of mangrove cover, that is Karnataka and Manipur. So you have to remember these things. Fine. Now total carbon stock. Carbon stock means, see, usually plant takes the carbon dioxide and they release the oxygen, you all know. So carbon is stored by plants, lot of plants as the carbon. So how much tons of carbon is stored by the total trees is 7,285.5 metric tons. Metric tons means into 1000. So this much amount of carbon was stored by the plants. If all this carbon is released into the atmosphere, we will die, right? So that's why plants are very important. And increase in compared to the last assessment is 81.5 metric tons into 1000, if you can, in terms of the cages. So this much amount of carbon we have able to increase the store in the plants. And then distribution of carbon stock, in which places within the green cover where these carbon stocks are stored more. Highest in soil organic carbon, that means the carbon is present in the soil, and then above ground biomass, that means the plants above. Then below ground also we have a plants which are growing, that is also the third one. And then litter, so whatever the leaves fallen on the ground, and then dead wood, that means those wood which was cut down and it was not able to grow anymore. So these are the regions where the highest for carbon stock was been stored. Then top states by carbon stock. Which states is having the highest carbon stock? That is Arunachal Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra. These 4 states has the highest carbon stocks. Whereas per hectare, that means this carbon is also stored per hectare of the land. In this, Jammu Kashmir, Sikkim, Himachal Pradesh, Andaman Nicobar Islands are the top performers. The last one is agroforestry. What is agroforestry? Agroforestry means growing the trees in the agriculture lands. You might have seen when you visited to the villages, there's a lot of trees are being planted across the agriculture land so that it gives the shadow or the less amount of sunlight. So those growing the agriculture along with the trees is called as agroforestry. And the tree green cover under agroforestry, the total is 1,27,590 square kilometers. This is the total amount of agroforestry being cultivated, and this was increased by 21,286.57. 20% increase has been seen since 2013, which is a good sign, right? In a one decade, we were able to increase 20%. And growing stock under forest, agroforestry. Growing stock means what? It is a volume, area into the total height of the tree. So the total volume under agroforestry is 1291.68 million meter cube, and the increase since 2013 is 286, that is 28.56% increase of growing stock we have able to increase. So again, this is also a positive aspect. State-wise growing stock in agroforestry, specifically agroforestry, which state is having the highest growing stock? Maharashtra, Karnataka, Odisha, Rajasthan. Whereas in terms of union territories, Jammu Kashmir, Andaman Nicobar, Dadra Nagar Haveli and Daman Diu. So these are the ones with the highest state-wise growing stock in agroforestry specifically. And lastly, we have the forest decadal change of forest cover. So decadal change in forest cover compared to the 2013. So here we will see which states has highest and which states has lowest. Okay. Already we have seen the highest forest cover is in Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, we have seen. But change which state has seen the highest and lowest, that we have to see. So here the highest increase of forest cover is Kerala. This is also the same one. But here until here we have union territories, until here we have states. So highest increase of decadal forest cover is seen in Kerala first, then Andhra Pradesh second. No other states has the highest, right? And whereas in terms of union territories, we have seen the Ladakh as the highest increase of forest cover in one decade, followed by Chandigarh, right? So this is also top 2 union territories, top 2 states. Now we also see decadal decrease of forest cover. Let's see which one is having the highest. So minus 6.11 is the one which is having the highest here. Is there any minus more than that? No. So this is the state which has declined the forest. Nagaland has seen the largest decline of forest in terms of the decadal change. So these things you can and one union territory, Pondicherry, has reduced the forest cover compared to the last decade. So we have seen this in a very detailed manner, right? We have discussed each and every fact, definition, everything. So try to listen carefully, prepare a short notes out of it. So you no need to cover any other report, any other documents also. I promise that this will be more than sufficient for any of the exam you prepare, right? So wish you all the best. Take care. Thank you.